Okay. All right. So I'm not going to be breaking down charts as of yet because we're going to be hopping on a live with Sharma in an hour. So we're going
Yeah,
to be doing some breakdowns. Like, if do you
yeah,
want to start off with a breakdown?
yeah. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. I want to be able to hold on one second. I want to be able to get some work in before we hop on with her. So, what's up,
Yeah.
Quinn?
Yo,
He's moving.
yep,
You ready?
yeah,
Okay.
almost filled all the boxes.
Everything pretty much packed?
Yeah. I was typing a message to you on Discord right now. Was telling you that I don't have that much to pack, but I had some other shit to take care of, like internet provider, giving me a hard time with giving back the equipment and all that.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that either.
Yeah.
Those are all the little tedious things like setting up Wi-Fi, doing all these little things that kind of take away from your work. So I know that feeling. Um, what's it called? So we're gonna be hopping on live with Sharma in about an hour. So I figured I'd just save the breakdown. We have PCE today. It's Friday as well. So I'll save the main breakdown of GJ Gold and the economic calendar and all that stuff. And real quick, all three of you guys will get some breakdowns in beforehand. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
I just want to get some work in beforehand. So I mean, you guys are open to break down GJ Gold, US 30, whatever ones you guys want. So Sharjeel, you want to start us off?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. What pair you want to start with?
Um, what are we just doing? One of the three.
No. Anything you want. I was just saying, like, since I didn't break these down yet, you're open to doing one of them if you'd like.
I want to just try another pair. One sec. Um, I want a pair like yesterday's.
You want a rangy pair?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what we got. Let's look at like the 1 hour. Um, Let me actually just clear some of this stuff out on gold so we're ready for Sharma. It's up. Actually, this is the other chart. What's up, Tiff? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Steph.
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
What was the laugh?
Considering me just being tired, but I'm
Oh,
good.
okay. Yeah, I feel you. Um, so just
Yeah, real quick. Sammy and I wanted to talk to you about us starting to trade London together starting Monday.
okay. I like that.
So we want to push each other to like be on time every day to trade London and get us to put the fucking work in that session to get better there as we
Awesome.
are on a good time zone for that.
There you go. Okay. Sure, Jill, you gonna join him?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess you guys will be running like the London chat.
Oh, what you
Yeah,
saying? I
and
was gonna join London.
What was that?
Did you say out if I was gonna join London?
Yeah, no, I just figured you're close with Sammy. You guys have been back testing and stuff, so I just didn't know if you were
Yeah. Oh,
joining him.
I'll be working at that time.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay. Um, okay, so let's go over. That's awesome though, Quentin and Sammy. Let's see. EJ's a little rangy.
Yeah. Let's go for this.
Want to go with EJ? All right. So
all
that's
right.
all. Are you gonna be hopping on a Zoom? Are you gonna be just chatting in the London channel?
Yeah, we're gonna figure that out, but yeah, probably hop it on the Zoom. Uh,
Beautiful. What, and
and
then
yeah,
just joining us after?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Like we're gonna do probably um like 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. or something
Okay.
to be back at 6:30
Okay.
after that.
Yeah, I'm
No, two,
thinking.
2 to 4, 2 to 4. I meant 2 to 4.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah,
that
2
sounds
a.m. to
good.
4 or 4:30, and then we have time to whatever go to the gym or something
Yeah.
before 6:30.
It's not only that, but like you guys are giving yourself a break from the chart. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
get 2 hours on and we get a break. Okay. if I took a trade or two, I'm not psychologically involved right now. I could go to the gym, I could do what I got to do, and then head over to the New York channel, and all of a sudden we're popping on and doing a breakdown for you guys. And you guys are kind of like filling us in on what you've seen too, which is what I like. That's why I like that London channel. It's like if anyone trades London, just give us a little heads up. All right, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. This is how, price is moving right now. It's moving pretty quickly. It's kind of like reading the greens on a golf course.
All right.
All right, Sharjeel, you're up.
Right. Let's do this. So as we can see, we've got a resistance right up here.
Okay.
And we've got a support just right here. There we go. Yeah, so this is all I'll be drawing on the monthly time frame, seeing as in we're in this range. I think was that the previous bearish candle, the bullish candle, which closed at support. It closed without a top wick, so there was a kind of like a 50-50 chance of whether this candle will be bullish or bearish. But it looks like it obviously broke the high, even made a bottom wick, and it's currently bullish at the moment.
Yeah, that's the key is the fact that the next candle created that bottom wick, right? Like if this candle closed with no top wick and then all of a sudden this candle just starts pushing up, you want to secure somewhere around here, or I mean maybe it'll reach up to here. But if you get a healthy bottom wick like this and price forms it first, and then we start breaking the high, or maybe we break the high a little bit and then we come down and then we start breaking the high, as long as it's a high volume time, I mean this is the monthly, so but like if this is scalping, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that you marked off the most recent support resistance first.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So are we is that it for the monthly?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What's up, Keon?
Say it again, Steph.
No, I was saying what's up to Keon, who just came in.
Oh,
have you
I'm
met
sorry.
Keon?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, Keon. Tiffany, this is Keon. Did I even introduce you to anybody in here? Like when you first started coming in? I don't know if you're trying to talk. Oh, he's connecting the audio. All right, whatever. Sharjeel, is there anything you want to do over here?
Yeah, I just want to move the support a bit down and the resistance a bit up.
There you go. Quick adjustment right there.
Yep, and the resistance a bit more up, please. Yeah, perfect.
That good?
Yep.
Awesome.
And now let's.
And the fact that like we're on the weekly and you have your support here and then price action to the left of where price actually is right here, you really don't even need to look to the left. So a lot of stuff that's pretty much, over here or below this support over here, it's almost kind of irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
Other than the fact that like it's like, all right, for the higher time frame stuff, if we do break that resistance around 143, 144, we have that move coming up into 149.
Yeah.
All right. So, daily?
No, I just want to draw something else on the week.
Sure.
I think I was looking at this level over here. Just this little level over here.
Okay. Makes sense.
And yeah, this is all I'll be doing on the
On the weekly? Okay. So what are you seeing inside this range?
So I'm just seeing like inside of here, like there's this whole one big range, but it's kind of split in the middle. So like you see like there's a support over here. There's a few wick rejections over here. It was before it closed back into the range, it was a resistance over here, but now it looks like it's holding some kind of support.
Okay. And do you see like a trending market here?
Yeah, it's trending to the upside.
Yes. We get a new high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. All right. Now we do have that resistance right here that we ended up failing to close above. Like this candle pretty much closed above that resistance, right? But then we get this doji and we close right back inside of it. So it could be a fake out, but again, like you're playing the fundamentals now at this point as well, knowing that we are pretty much extremely bullish since May with a very weak Japanese yen monetary policy.
Yeah.
All right. Daily.
Okay. So there's another level just right here. I want to draw up. It's just this whole thing, like right there. So it looks like we've closed above this this area, but we never formed a top wick. So again, it's a 50-50 that if this candle could obviously shoot bullish or just come down and do a fake out, and close a bearish candle. So this candle might be creating a steeper wick to the downside. May reflip bullish again to obviously come and tap the next resistance.
So oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, like, so when we talk about like these higher time frames, monthly, weekly, daily, sometimes 4 hour, a lot of times these wicks, right, are actually resistances on the lower time frames. Like we know that price came up into this area right here, came into this area right here, held a resistance, tapped multiple times probably, and then we continue right back down. So with this, I'm looking over here, the most recent resistance is pretty much right here, right? And then if you look to the left over here, you get multiple rejections in that area. I completely see what you're doing, right? Like, and I like the fact that you're putting it here, but I'm just saying, like, as we go down the time frames, this will come with like more and more breakdowns. You're gonna start to see like, oh, okay, I know we have this resistance right here. We got the candle bodies here and stuff like that, and this could be a fake out, which you very well could if we go down the time frames. We may see that. You also have these wicks as well, but at the same time, you have this area, and then mainly the current resistance right here that we're rejecting, which happens to be a psychological level of 142.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. So would you like to put it here?
Yeah, I'd rather.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, maybe you're right, right? But most of the time, a lot of these wicks over here end up being areas that you want to break down anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Is that good for the daily?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay. So you're looking for, you see the rejection of this area. Is there anything you want to adjust up here?
I'll just move it a bit more up.
Okay. Awesome. You're getting better at these, my man.
Thank you.
Keep it up. So you see, like, technically a fake out, I would say. We did close above this resistance over here, but we came right back inside. But we're still creating higher lows, right? Yeah. So what do you see happening over here? Since we're creating higher lows, the current price action, I know we're kind of ranging in here, but what do you see happening with the current candles?
The current candle, that you can obviously see that this current candle right now is obviously creating a resistance, is rejected from maybe that area, and we might be coming down to make a support to obviously come and retest that area, possibly break through it as well.
Which area? Do you mean the market up?
I did that by accident.
Oh, okay. So you're looking to retest up here? Or
I'm looking to maybe create for price to create a support.
Okay.
Maybe at around this level.
Okay. I like it. It makes sense. Even like something in here, maybe?
Yeah, just around those levels.
Yeah, we could very well hold the support there. Let's see what we look like in the lower time frames. Okay. 4 hour.
So yeah, I'd like to move this support a little bit more down. Just
This one?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah, and just thin it out a little.
Okay.
And this, this resistance, I'd like to move it just in between here. So then it covers that whole area.
Okay. There you go. You got that resistance. You got support right here, rejection area with that candle. Current resistance. Let's look to the left. Yeah, multiple rejections as well over here. So that's correct. All right. Do you see any kind of trending market currently?
We're currently making higher highs, is it?
Okay.
So
well, we're actually making lower highs currently since the middle of the month.
Yeah, you can like see it from that maybe. Oh, yeah, from up there. I was just gonna try that.
And if you don't draw trend lines, you don't have to. It's just good to recognize, like, okay, we are making lower highs, even though we're making higher lows here, right? We've been making higher lows so far. So that tells us, since we're making lower highs and higher lows, that we're ranging. We're in the middle of a range right here. Right, but you don't have to keep these on here if you don't want. All right. So where do you see price going from here?
If you can see that it closed back below this level over here, just here. Oh no, I never. That was my mistake.
There you go. Awesome. That's that previous support that we just broke.
And there is a resistance right over here. I mean the support, sorry, like previous resistance. It's right there. So I'd say maybe the support would most likely be formed around this level on the 4-hour time frame.
Okay, I like it. And what price is that right there?
Sorry?
Would you say that this, like, right around this area is like a psychological level? Like banks want to bring price back down to 140,500 or 140 before continuing back up?
Around that level.
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing. I think I've talked to Quentin about this too. I want you guys to get used to really looking right and looking at price, looking at the exchange price and seeing like, oh, okay, we are at a psychological level. There is a high probability that we could bounce off this level. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
All right, 1 hour?
Yes, please.
All right. We're getting closer. So what do you see happening here? I'll zoom out a little bit here for you.
Okay. So there's a previous level that I'd like to mark off. It's here, there, this level over here, and you've got like a clean kind of range coming all the way down to this level over here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so price could possibly fill out this range before obviously creating a support to come back, and you might start consolidating or ranging this over here before we get maybe a breakout to the upside.
You do have clean candles in here.
Yeah.
What I would do too, though, is as you can see, we reached this high up here. We actually tapped into that trend line and validated it, and then tapped twice over here, and that's where you get that bearish close. And after that, you got this candle. This is more of an experience. I don't want to say expert, but more of an experienced entry that I could see, at least on the 1 hour, where you reject this area. We get this slow price moving down a little bit in this little channel here, but then we got that retest of that area one more time, 142, 200, tapped it perfectly, right? That's why we say look at those price levels. Closed bearish. This candle created a healthy top wick and passed the low of that candle. So being that this is the 1 hour, not like the 15-minute, could you put your stop loss somewhere above 142 right here? and then enter this as it passed the low of that candle to continue down. Always looking at possible entries. But what I'm looking at here is we held a support right there with that candle, valid. And then we came back below, closed below, and then came back into that area. But it looks like that was actually our support right here.
Yeah.
Like somewhere in there is a valid support. There's no point of really showing that fake out, especially if we ended up closing below that level right there finally. Right? We ended up, continuing back down after that last tap. So this candle closed below with no top wick or no bottom wick. Top wick formed past the low, and we're continuing down from here. Now, I like the fact that you marked this level off. Your most recent support also lines up to the left to get that wick. You can also look to the left over here. I'm sure you could see more rejections as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I think we got Jamie in here. What's up, Jamie? Breaking down your pair right now.
Oh, I've been laying in the bushes just waiting to ambush, but I see. Good morning.
Sergio stole your girl.
Yeah, that's all right. He gonna lose her in a minute.
All right. So, and then you do have this level. But at the same time, what I see here is the fact that it doesn't really line up to the left over here. Maybe it does on some of the lower time frames, but you have these clean candles coming down. This candle closed right above, right through that level, right? This is just like a minor pullback coming down, and then we continued up. So I think like if we get a close below this level on the 1 hour, right? And then possibly like some kind of a pullback because we are a little overextended here. So if we get some kind of a pullback here, we should be continuing down into this support right here. I marked it off kind of thick like that because you got this price action to the left and then you get that resistance. So I think price wants to come back down into that area. But I do think it's primed for some kind of a pullback. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, awesome. 30-minute?
Yeah.
Okay. And it could very well be creating this low down here. We kind of fake this level out. We come right back into this area, and then maybe later next week, we continue right back down. 30-minute?
Yes, please. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we closed below this level.
Okay.
And we created a top wick, and we obviously broke the low. We're heading down right now. So
yes.
If I was in this position, well, I wouldn't be because the previous candle never had a bottom wick. But if it did have a bottom wick, I would have obviously maybe cut off some of my trade take profits over here.
Okay.
So because
I like it.
Yeah, because price it could maybe create a support on this level.
Yes.
So I'd probably wait for a closure maybe below this level if I wanted to keep it in. But if it obviously created a support, I would have maybe exited the full trade.
Okay, yeah. I mean, just to clarify, this is a place I would want to take profit, but at the same time, I see price pushing through this to continue down into here. Like I feel like price wants to come back down here. Again, just a little teaching point for you. We did close with no bottom wick, but it was a very strong candle, and this candle created that top wick, and it's a healthy top wick, and then it passed below that candle. Now, the only thing you need to ask yourself, and this is something in the trading plan, is check the time, right? What time is it? How much time with a 30-minute candle when this thing created, I guess the beginning of the candle created that top wick, and the second half of the candle, we passed below that candle. But now that, I mean, for right now, I don't know when we pass below that candle, but right now we got about 1 minute left for the 7 o'clock candle to open on the 1 hour. So with this, it's like, okay, do we have enough volume to create that top wick? And once we pass the low of that candle, do we have enough time before the candle closes for price to at least give me like a 1-to-1? Get what I'm saying? And mirror these candles to the left? Or is price going to pass the low, stall a little bit, and then the next candle maybe creates a top wick, pass the low, and continues down? Or we get some kind of a pullback because this candle is so strong, but then has no bottom wick. This candle closes a weak bearish candle, right? Like almost like a doji. And then the next candle, we start pulling back over here to then continue up. So you're already getting, for a possible pullback, you're already getting 2 clues. We don't know how this candle is going to close yet, but you're getting that clue with this candle so far, and the fact that this one's going to close a lot weaker. But don't forget that you are closing consecutively below this level. So don't bank on that. You're trading what you see, not what you think. And when I say that, I'm saying like don't marry a bias. Don't like be like, okay, we have to retest this level and then continue down. No, there's more things that could possibly happen. You're just waiting for candles to close.
Yeah.
So with this, it's like, okay, we have if this candle is going to create that first bias, if we're going to create that top wick and pass below that candle, do we have enough range coming down into here? You only have about 20 pips where you would be taking profit, which makes sense. But at the same time, do you want to see a further pullback to then continue down? I think that's what I'd rather see, just because you get more of a range to be trading in. But right now, this candle is creating that top wick and flipping bearish right now. So it should be continuing down.
Okay.
But that was a great breakdown. Like I say, you're getting better at these, man. You keep volunteering, you keep saying, "Yeah, I'll do it," and you're getting better. And it's only been a few weeks. Again, back to the higher time frames here. You just want to recognize yourself or double check, I would say is a better way to say it. Double check some of these higher time frames just to clarify. Okay, the weekly is bullish. And what I could see now that we're pulling back is that the weekly may be creating that top wick over here so that the next candle could maybe start further pushing down next week in the beginning of the week. And then in the middle of the week, we start to flip bullish and start to fill that wick to continue up. Looking at the daily here, last daily candle actually ended up closing a weak bullish candle, or not a weak bullish candle, very strong bullish candle, but with no top wick. This candle looks like past the high right away, which is what we were talking about before, and then flip bearish. So now we're starting to come down, respecting the lower highs that we've been forming and tapping into this level. When was the last time we were at this level? What happened? We just tanked all the way down here, right? Same thing here, tanked all the way down here. So that's a massive liquidity zone for price to possibly be continuing down here. So that could be happening too.
Yeah.
Right. The weekly candle could end up closing. I still think it's going to close strong, even if price today ends up coming down here. But can we end up continuing down from here? Possibly. Like you never really know. Lewis, good morning, buddy. We were actually we weren't looking at this, but I was looking at it on my other screen. What we're doing today, we're hopping on the live with Sharma for PCE today at 7:30. So what I wanted to do is hop on an hour earlier with you guys and do breakdowns. Have you guys do breakdowns, get some work in. We got room for probably maybe 2 more breakdowns before 7:30. So if anybody wants to go, volunteer right now, let me know. But yeah, I was looking at that GJ short right over there. It's beautiful too. Great job, Sergio.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Tiffany's daughter wants to break something down for us. She say me.
Yeah, there's a trade that I'm actually looking at, and I also want to bring attention to it if you guys are interested.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look.
EU, I'm waiting for the retest now.
Okay.
But it looks healthy.
Okay. Let's take a look at it right now. I just wanted to show you guys what I was looking at here. We'll be doing the full breakdown with Sharma, obviously, but we had this support, had that double tap of this area, a little liquidity grab, fake out as well, and then we get the clean close below that area. Healthy top wick, passed below that candle. I know it passed below that candle and came down and then retraced pretty hard, and then we came right back down again and closed a very strong bearish candle. So Lewis, you closed. So you closed the full thing? Done for the day?
Yeah, bro. I think I'm going back to sleep. I don't know.
You've been up for a little bit?
Nah, I just woke up. I literally woke up, looked at the charts, and I just took it. I literally woke up, just looked at it. I took the shorts, and then made coffee. I said, "Oh, okay."
Okay. Did you do a full breakdown before you took them?
I just sent you the chart, but I had levels already marked up from last night.
Okay.
And I literally just woke up. I was like, "Oh shit." Okay.
Yeah,
I just took it without hesitation. I was like, "Oh, it looked, it looked clean to me."
Just be careful with that. I don't want to like discourage you or bring any negative energy to your winning trade because it was awesome. Be careful with waking up or just opening a chart and then all of a sudden just taking a trade. Most of those trades I've lost.
Yeah, I
And
think maybe.
you can ask any other trader, especially traders in here right now. I'm sure they would tell you as soon as I open the chart and I just see a setup and take it. A lot of times that ends up being a loss for the majority of the time.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Probably wasn't smart. Yeah. But I mean, I already like. I mean, I had reasons to take it, and
yeah. Well, you did the breakdown last night. It's not like you didn't do any breakdown at all. But it's like, okay, let me at least like go through the daily real quick. Okay, all right, this is how we're looking for the day so far. Last 4 hour candle close. Okay, take a look at that. 1 hour. Okay, and then all your setups or your markups are lining up. It's like, okay, yeah, you could take that. It's just I'm just encouraging you to double check
to not do
everything
that.
before you.
Yeah. I send you a copy of. I send you a link of the picture.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I just want to check out Tiffany's breakdown.
Oh yeah.
Not breakdown, but her possible trade. Yeah, this is looking nice over here. Very similar to EJ, right? Where we got that strong close below with the below this support right here with no bottom wick, but this candle created a healthy top wick, flip bearish past the low, close like a doji. This candle has a healthy top wick as well. We're passing the low of that candle. So we do have this area right here you might want to be aware about, but at the same time, that's our nearest support. Right? We could be coming down into here. I'd be more encouraged that price is going to be coming down in here if we had a valid pullback and then continue down. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I said. We're waiting for that pullback. Hopefully, if we get it. I don't know if we're gonna get it. Not anytime soon, of course we'll get it.
Actually, you know what? I do like this retest on the 15-minute. That's the setup that we like, right? I mean, I don't encourage you guys to trade a lot of the times on the 15-minute during pre-New York, mostly during New York when you have volume. But this is a great setup. That's a great candle close right here with a wick to fill. Top wick formed. Take it as it flips bearish right here, and you should be continuing down. But like I said, it's kind of a smaller range coming down into this area as it is critical. But again, at the same time, like it is the 15-minute. And these candles are weaker. Like again, like price leaves clues for you guys or for all of us where first of all, we got the strong candle close, right? Just no bottom wick. And then this candle closed extremely differently than this one did, didn't it? So you see that we're starting to lose that volume. And the people that are taking sells right here could be getting trapped. Is that a beautiful setup on the 15-minute? Absolutely. But it's also the 15-minute. So could it continue down? Absolutely. But I'm saying like you got two clues here with these two candle closes that you could very well pass the low of that candle and then end up retracing and coming right back up and then maybe retesting this area possibly and then continuing down. Multiple things could happen.
Yeah, but I was waiting for that retest. I have to get used to going through all the time frames to look for that retest.
Yep. It's key. I mean, every time frame tells you something differently. And the best trades are when you see the 4 hour lining up. You see the 1 hour lining up, 30-minute, 15-minute. All these time frames are all looking perfect for you. Those are the best trades where you start to, if you get a good setup on like the 30-minute when you're scalping, it's like I'm 90% sure that this is going to play out. 90 to 95. Those are the trades you guys want to be taking, especially in the beginning of your journey. Are you going to take as many as you normally would? Like when you get more experience, maybe not, but those are the ones that are really, those are the ones like for me that I'm risking 2 or 3%. And the other ones I'm really risking like 1 to 2. If I'm like, and those ones I'm more like 70 to 80% sure are going to play out. But again, these are new setups that I'm used to, and they're not so much like regular break and retest. But again, if this was the 30-minute, I'd be taking this all day. I think we could continue down. But the fact that the 30-minute is starting to exhaust right there, it tells me, maybe we're going to get some kind of a proper pullback. All right. Are you in this right now?
No, I missed it.
Okay. Well, maybe you didn't miss it. Maybe you didn't miss it. Maybe you missed it from up here at 6 a.m. Again, this candle closed a very strong bearish candle, but with no bottom wick, right? But this candle created that healthy top wick. If it just passed low with no bottom wick, and you were, let's say, in this, I would be securing somewhere around that wick fill or somewhere down here, because price is going to pull back, create that top wick if it's going to continue down, or it's going to fake you out and continue up. Just really got to be careful about trading against your trend. All right, so let's take a look at some of the charts. Jamie sent one over. Great job, buddy. Nice and blue. All right, so yeah, I like the fact that you marked this off right there. That's your nearest support, right? This is what we're talking about. Now this candle over here closed with no bottom wick. This candle, same exact thing. It's creating a top wick, passing a low. That's the 30-minute over here. So can we continue down to here? And do we have enough range? Jamie, are you comfortable trading in this, or would you rather get a further pullback?
Yeah, and I need a further pullback. I've extended my ranges now. If it's not at least 60 pips, I don't bother with it, because you can have a candle. Yeah, you can have a candle that drops 25 pips in there. If your entry is 25 pips in, your stop is about 25. You need at least 25 more to get a 1-to-1, 35 to get a nice 1.5 or 1.25 one.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to look for those bigger ranges of trading to get the better trades.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, when you're looking for 10 pips a day, you're looking for a range of 20 to 25 pips. So you can realistically easily get 10 pips in there, right? If you're looking for 15 to 20 with a 20 pip stop loss, you're looking for, more so that 35 to 40 pip range. If you keep going up, you got a bigger stop loss. You got to really consider how big your range has to be, like 50 or 60 pips, like you said. So
yeah,
it's all relative. But great job, man. Great chart. I want to see, could we be coming down into here? Let's see. We actually technically got like a little break of this area.
Correct. I mean, we took out this minor area of support, right here, but we still haven't really broken structure. We haven't taken out this low, which is what started this entire move going up here. So if we took this low out, came down to the retest and started doing this, then I know, okay, we're starting to go this way. But right now, I'm still, on the 30, yeah, I'll take sells if I get a retest and it comes back up. Then I'll take it and I'll write it down.
Yeah.
But if we come back up above this and do this, then I'm taking buys all day long, but we're coming back up here. There's absolutely nothing here stopping us.
Yes. Yeah, general rule, like if you guys are trading against the trend, and I know like EJ has been creating these lower highs over here, right? But we have been creating these higher lows so far, and you have a weak Japanese yen. So you end up getting the second tap of this area, right? But a general rule, if you're trading technically against the trend, or you're trying to call tops or bottoms, wait for the retest. Unless you get perfect price action and you want that quick scalp, get the quick scalp. But at the same time, if you guys, just especially during like Asian, you want to wait for this retest before you take this sell down. Now selling down here would technically be selling the low. Like if you miss this would be like almost like a FOMO trade, because you missed that impulse of entry up here. And this is where I'd be securing, right? Right at that support over here. I'd be closing the majority of my trade, moving stops to break even. And if we pull back to get that proper retest, I may get stopped out, or I leave it in its original spot to give it room to breathe so that price could continue down and I catch the full move. But at least majority of my trade is secured down here. And then you could possibly get the re-entry once you, along with the original entry, you could, kind of scale in over here after the retest to continue down, right? So just be aware of that. Like a lot of times you could get this pullback anywhere in this area. It could be a minor pullback. It could be coming up into here to continue down, or just like a quick one to continue down. But again, that quick one right? Where we just continue down from here and just start tanking happens during New York, not so much during pre-New York. Make sense?
Oh, yes.
Awesome. All right. We got another chart here, Lewis. Beautiful. Nice. I like it, man. 30-minute. Got that clean close below with a wick to fill. Top wick formed past the low of the previous. You took it and what? You let it hit your TP, I guess? Or just close the full thing right here? I know you said you closed it, Lewis. You there, brother? You fall asleep on us?
I think he's dozing, man.
Yeah, you sounded tired. He might be on the phone.
Chat.
What's up?
He answered in the chat.
Oh, okay. He might be on the phone. He's normally on the phone in the morning. But awesome job, man. I like this. This is the exact trade I would have taken if we weren't just hopping onto the to the stream. Very perfect setup right here. That's what I look for a lot of the time. Now I could expect some kind of a pullback coming back in. Oh, here we go. EJ is actually coming down a little bit here on the 30-minute. Actually, this candle has no top wick over here on the 15-minute. But this is looking like it's possibly coming down. Let's see. All right, we got about 15 minutes left. See how GJ is kind of coming back over here? It might be retesting this area to continue down.
Hey, bro. Yeah, sorry, I was muted, but no,
Oh,
yeah, I
good,
did
man.
close. Yeah, I closed the whole thing when you were asking. But
Beautiful. Like, was that your TP and it hit your TP or?
yeah,
Okay.
it was my TP, and then I hit it. It was like I think almost 40 pips, and then
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna trade for the rest of the day. I was like, whatever.
Smart, man.
I'm gonna
Friday.
Yeah.
Grabbed your win.
You know what? Yeah, you know what I'm noticing? I get a win. That's it. There's no need for me to trade again.
Okay. You're like fading out.
Like if I take a win, I usually try just to not trade again because
Okay. That's what I thought you said. Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great psychology, I guess you could say, when it comes to Monday and Friday. Right? Like you grab your win, it's like, okay, I'm done for the day. I don't need to be. And you know who kind of taught me that was Ted. Ted has always been like that. Like he comes to the market, comes around 9:30. He would come break down the charts for us earlier in the morning, but he's taking his trade on gold around 9:30 after the stock market opens, gets in his scalp, grabs his move, and he's out, and he just leaves. And he
closes the computer.
He just closes the computer, he walks away, and he gets on with his life. That was always the psychology. So it's, I mean, if you could extract.
I don't know if he's not. He doesn't. He wasn't streaming. He used to look. He was 100 lotter.
I can't hear you, buddy.
It was when you stream. He used to like risk like 100 lots like crazy. What you know what I mean? Like how was he able to breathe, bro?
How was he able to freeze?
Like breathe.
Breathe.
Oh, breathe. Oh,
yeah.
You know what?
100 lots.
I'll never forget this comment. We were on a live stream once, and he was telling us that he was in 20 grand in drawdown, and somebody goes, "Dude, if I was 20 grand in drawdown, I would blow my brains out." I was dying laughing at that. But it's a different level, and it's a level that you guys will all be at if you believe in it. Right? If you put the work in, you believe that you will be there, you will. It's the same exact thing as what the money that you're trading now. Right? It's just like the psychology of it and your everyday life and what you make currently, stuff like that. What you make now and all that stuff, that's gonna factor into your trading level and how much you're willing to risk, stuff like that. But at some point, it's just gonna take time unless you go over to a prop firm and use a prop firm. It's going to take time to get to that level. But the main thing that you want to do is if you're not used to trading with that amount of money, go over to Soft4fx. And Kyung, I was telling you this morning. Go to Soft4fx and really get used to trading with an account like that. I was actually telling Keyoung like to get rid of over trading because you get bored, right? Because you didn't take enough trades, or you took enough trades and now you're kind of done, and now you're bored, and you know you still want to get your fix. That's what I always used to do. Is I would just, after the stream, I would hop over to the simulator, especially during COVID, and I would just backtest a couple of other sessions, right, and just get all that experience under my belt. All right, so it's 7:20 of 9. Oh, she did answer. Beautiful. So we're just gonna wait on her. Anyone want to do a quick breakdown?
What time does the news comes out? At 8:30?
8:30, yes. Yeah, let's actually take a look. We're gonna be trading PCE today. Hold on 1 second.
Yo, Jamie, how was everything over there at your house after the hurricane?
We're good. I mean, we just had a bunch of, we had wind gusts, and the rain actually hit the night before. So the wife was home by herself going through that one, and I flew in Wednesday morning. But Wednesday, we still had some showers, but it's mainly just a wind gust. So, still had 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts.
Yeah, it's almost the same over here. Kind of like the same over here.
Yeah, dude, Fort Myers and Sanibel got destroyed, man.
Yeah, bro. Fuck.
They said that the bridge to Sanibel Island is gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I saw this I think this morning or last night. Aerial. Of what was it? Hurricane Ian. What was it? Fort Myers. Yeah, they got smashed. Here it is. Terrible. I heard hundreds died.
It wouldn't surprise me when you get a storm that hits at 155 mile per hour winds.
Mhm.
Dude, there's nothing you can do for that.
Dude, gusts of like 25 to 30. If you're just standing outside, like you feel that. It's
Yeah.
not. I'm not saying it's anything crazy, but it's like 25, 30 mile an hour winds. It's like, oh, okay, we're playing around today. But like
Yeah.
Isn't that
150.
Isn't that hundreds of people died? Is that what you said?
Yes,
Oh shit.
but they're at least missing right now. And I mean, they're still
wow.
doing the rescue efforts and stuff like that. But yeah, they're saying that hundreds.
Dude, how far do you think you have to leave from the beach or the ocean for you to get those type of storm surges that like you saw?
What do you mean? How far do you have to live?
Like, let's say, like, because all right, so like let's say me and Jamie live like, I don't know, let's say 20 miles from the beach. You think we'll get those type of like
storm surge in England? No.
Not 20 miles.
No.
Not 20
No,
miles.
right?
You would feel them. Like when I grew up, I would say 5 miles from the beach, and during Sandy, we personally did not get hit that bad, right? Like my car was safe. We were pretty good. We actually got hit by a nor'easter back when I was a kid, August 2nd. I'll never forget it. It was like a tornado went through our entire county, and you couldn't see my backyard because of the fences, the trees. Trees were on top of our cars and everything. It literally looked like a tornado went through. I was on a boat at the time, but 5 miles in, you're pretty much safe. But 2 miles in and out, you're gonna really feel it. You're gonna get, especially if the storm's bad enough. But this is the aerial view. I was seeing this. It looks like a war zone. Dude, look at that.
Yeah, that looks like when Andrew came through South Miami.
Oh, you guys felt Andrew? That was in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
I think that was 92.
Yeah. That's exactly what it looked like. I mean, literally. You see homes, and all you see are the concrete pads where the homes were.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what the boatyards looked like after Sandy. Dude, look at that.
I saw a video of a manatee like in the middle of a random
So did I.
intersection. That's crazy, bro. Like, I'm so thankful that that didn't come to this side, bro.
Dude, what? That's the highway?
Yeah, yeah. Anything along the beach, the coast, yeah, that's A1A type screwed. But A1A on our side, I don't know what it is on their side.
Bro, you were close to the ocean or to the water, and you stayed. I don't know. I don't know why. Like, I would have evacuated, bro. Anything category 4 or 5 that's coming directly my way, dude, I'm out, bro.
Yeah, I was telling you guys, I think yesterday, the day before, like I know people that stuck it out in Sandy and on Seabright, and Seabright basically looked like an island like that, or does look like an island like this because you get the river here and the ocean here. And they stayed in the house. They were on the second floor, and it was so dark outside you couldn't really see anything. And they would see trucks being like just carried away across the island into the river from the ocean, like just trucks, things getting tossed like they were toys.
Yeah,
they were scared for their lives, and those are just like adrenaline junkies. Like they love doing that stuff, and they were the ones that were like scared shitless. Yeah, this is nuts. These houses are all gutted. Yeah, hopefully they're all good. These are some nice houses too.
yeah, right.
Yeah, that's millionaire, bro.
Dude, the construction companies in these areas are gonna be like making
Booming.
bank.
Yeah.
Bank. And also what's it called? I saw this video of this like an aerial view of a lineman yard where all these trucks are ready to come into Florida to help you guys out. The people that fix the power line, stuff like that, and it looked like thousands of trucks like ready to come in.
Oh yeah,
America's all about. Anything happens like that, everyone comes to the rescue. It's awesome.
Yeah, over here we had tornadoes and like around my house, and
I saw
there was like a bunch of like trees on top of people's cars, and like people were just coming out and like it just like working together like with chainsaws and like cutting branches and shit.
It's awesome. I've been watching so many of these rescue videos too. Like these older people stuck in cars, and then all of a sudden like a bunch of dudes like our age would come by, take them out, carry them through the water and everything, taking them out.
Yeah,
it's a great spirit. I'm sure other countries have this. Sure, Jill, Quentin, don't take it the hard way. I'm sure they're like that over there as well. But it's cool to see just human beings. It's not so much a country. It's just human beings coming to the rescue whenever something happens. I was looking at the data over here. We're gonna be hopping on soon. I'll send you the link. We're actually not going to hop on with her. I'll just send her the link so we don't have to go anywhere.
Yo, Steph.
Yo, Sammy.
Did Quentin tell you about our plans?
Yeah, he told me this morning. Weren't you on?
Was I?
Yeah, about London, right?
Yeah.
I love that, man.
I thought you were there. I sent you a message on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I think I went to make some tea, I think.
Little tea.
But yeah, maybe that's why I wasn't talking, or you're probably thinking, where's he gone? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's that's awesome. I love that. I keep telling you guys, like, you guys have a great set. Like, you guys live in the perfect area, other than like Cyprus, where my family is. Not just because it's my family over there, but it's the fact that London opens at 10 a.m. So you could wake up, go to the gym. You could still wake up early, get work in, stuff like that. And then your day starts at 10 a.m. trading if you're a full-time trader. And then later at night, like our Asian is the New York session, pretty much. It's more so in the afternoon. So that's that's such a perfect place. But for you guys, London opens at like what, 8 a.m. for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 3 a.m. for us, but 8 a.m. you guys trade for an hour or two. Once you get into pre-New York, it starts to get a little choppy. But the beginning of London, maybe around 3 to 4 a.m., I would trade that, take a break, go to the gym, eat some breakfast, whatever the case may be, and then come into the live session with us and just give us an update. Like, this is what we've been seeing. Market's really pumping. or it's just really consolidating today. It's not moving too much. And then update us on the economic data, whatever the case may be. But and we can do that as well. But I'm just saying, like, it's going to be cool having you guys over there getting work in, getting some trades in, taking a break, and then coming over with us. And you guys are already like primed in the market.
Yeah.
I was looking over here at the Euro data that came out this morning. We had CPI over here, flash estimate, ended up reaching 10% over here. And this is everything. Now, this is excluding like food, energy, alcohol, tobacco, stuff like that, core CPI over here. So I could see this going up even more once we really start hitting recession numbers, which we really are. But the governments are saying that we're not in a recession. Don't listen to them. We are. We just hit another quarter of contraction. If you take a look at CPI, no, not CPI, GDP that came out yesterday, another negative number. Third quarter in a row. 2 quarters is a recession, technically a recession. So 3 quarters in a row. I don't know what they're going to say now, but unemployment. We got mixed data yesterday because unemployment did drop over here, so that's good. But over here, looking at CPI, I mean, I know Germany hit 10%. I'm wondering from GDP, Great Britain. Oh, you guys got GDP this morning as well. Ended up better than ours, right? You guys are in the positive territory over here, which is good. And you guys, if we look at GJ over here, yeah, that came out around 2 a.m. 2 a.m. So we ended up holding some kind of a support here at 2 a.m. and continued right back up. And then we got that push down, tapping off that previous area, which we're going to break down in a second. Let me just clear everything out. As you guys can see, we got that pullback. All right. Yeah, so Jamie, you had no issues at all coming over?
Nope.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they took us down the eastern seaboard, and then we cut in. So it wasn't bad at all. One of the good things that we ended up having 3 pilots on the plane. So there were 2 in the cockpit, but the third one was sitting in a row behind me. And, in the row next to me, there was this very nervous, fidgety, typical New York passenger.
What are you going to say?
Yeah. This lady just went, shut up.
Why? What was she doing?
Shut up. So, but the pilot helped to calm her down. Said, listen, these planes can fly into what we're seeing easily. They're not going to fly directly into a hurricane. They're not a hurricane hunter. Mm-hmm. But, the 30, 40 mile an hour gusts, he said they can fly into these wind gusts easily. He said, and the pilot that we had was a trainer. He trains other pilots to fly into inclement weather and disasters. So we had one of the best pilots that Delta had.
Hey, but did you felt a lot of turbulence?
Not until the descent.
Okay. So only the last 5 minutes. Yeah,
the last 5-10 minutes, that's when we felt it. Other than that, and it wasn't major, like you hit some of those where it feels like you dropped in a freaking pothole. Yeah. No, this one was light.
Yeah, I was talking to my grandpa yesterday. He was a pilot his entire life, and he was a commercial pilot as well after the military. But he was telling me about like it's normal for planes to actually get struck by lightning. Like he's been struck by lightning multiple times. You see it over the cabin, and these planes are designed for something like that and to go through the storms. But like there's some times like if you're going through a storm like that, you hit turbulence that you can't control, and all of a sudden you're done. If it's that bad, but most of the time you're pretty much good. That's why you want to avoid storms like that.
That's funny you say that because my when I worked at JP Morgan, my boss told me that he would never fly again because his plane got struck by lightning and it dropped like 40 feet or 50 feet or 100 feet like in the split of a second. And he felt like he was gonna die, bro.
Man, he had a day, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's like, dude. After that, he's like, I can never get into a plane ever again.
Yeah, I mean that turbulence is definitely uneasy for most people. It's
no, but it wasn't turbulence. It was a lightning that hit the plane.
Okay, so and they just dropped.
Yeah, and the plane just dropped like a bunch of, I don't know how many feet, but you know, in a split of a second, like he felt like he was in a roller coaster going down towards
Oh
like.
my God. Yeah,
like, oh, shit,
did he say anything of what the pilot said after?
No, he just said that he was just trying not to like have a fucking panic attack.
Oh my God, dude, man, I don't know how I'd feel. And I'm fine with planes. I've grown up on planes. Like I used to want to be a pilot, but for a lot of people, it's kind of like being on a boat. Like a lot of people get very seasick very easily or very nervous about being on a boat. It's the same thing with planes, but I think it's more common for people to be more scared of planes. I think we got our very good friend Sharman here. What's up?
Yo, how's it going?
Going great. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Thank you.
Good to hear.
Morning, Queenie.
Good morning, good morning.
How's your week going so far? Have you taken anything? I know you said you weren't trading until today, but
Yeah, nothing as of yet.
okay, cool. You're just waiting for PCE, huh?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Do you want to wait for a couple of your people to hop in, or are we live on YouTube?
We're live on YouTube. We can continue.
All right, let me just record a quick video for Instagram for us.
For sure. How's everyone doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. You guys are talking about some serious stuff when I hopped in.
Yeah, real crazy, huh?
Yep.
You know, Mother Nature can be a real when she wants to be, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just gonna post this, wait for a couple other people to hop in, and then we'll get started on our breakdown. We haven't done any breakdowns yet. What I had them do was a couple of breakdowns on, what we normally do during our sessions when the market's consolidating.
Yeah.
So I was figuring I'd wait for you guys.
All right, perfect. I appreciate that.
Wow. It's just we always break everything down and then we hop on with you when we do our session and we break everything down again. So I just figured hold on 1 second. Who we got in here? We got Andreas, KB. Hold on 1 second.
No worries. Did you guys take any trades this week?
Yes. You guys, Lewis just grabbed GJ this morning. It was a nice little trade there.
Oh, nice.
Looks like we're dropping right now. I'm just kind of waiting. Hold on 1 second. YouTube. I grabbed that US 30 trade yesterday. I was happy with.
The little sell?
Yeah. I left the runner and the runner got stopped at break even, but it was I love the way it moves.
Yeah.
it's awesome. It's like the adrenaline runs a lot more when you first enter the trade. That's starting to go away, which is cool.
Yeah.
But it moves a lot of pips.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's get into the economic calendar over here. So this morning we actually got GDP coming out of Great Britain, which was above positive. It's better than what they were expecting over here. Current account as well was in the positives, or not positive, but better than expected here. But then going into Europe over here, we actually had CPI come out, main CPI with everything at 10%, right? I know Germany's CPI right now is at 10% as well. Now Europe, this is excluding, alcohol, food, all that stuff. That's excluding that. That's at 4.5% or 4.8% here. So their unemployment rate was the same as what they were expecting and previous. But moving into New York and what we're all trading is going to be PCE coming out for the Fed, which is their main gauge for inflation. So that's what we're going to be looking at here on gold, US 30. Going to be breaking those down for you. But later on this morning, 10 a.m., we got consumer sentiment, inflation expectations coming out of University of Michigan. And then we got Bowman and Williams speaking later on this afternoon and this morning. All right, so put something in the chat. Good morning, buddy. Andreas. So looking at, we'll start with GJ over here because we're having a nice move coming down. GJ, as you guys know, I have these historical levels marked up. What a liquidity grab down here at 149, right? We came right back down to that level and ended up rejecting it perfectly and coming all the way back up here. I thought we could possibly, come back up here, flip up here, and then we'll be pretty content sitting here for the rest of the week unless we get something major. But we ended up pushing all the way back up to 162. Didn't reach 166, but we ended up reaching 162 up here, and now we're starting to retrace a little bit. And you can see that previous support right here, which we can mark off on the actual chart right here, right? So we've been holding that support for a little bit before tapping in at 166 again and 168 perfectly right here. And then we ended up tanking right through that level. So right now we're so far respecting that area right now. Are we going to hold that as a resistance, or are we going to be pushing through it over here as well? Looking at the daily now, daily came into that level perfectly, right? Closed with no top wick. That's a hint for you that we may be exhausting around this area. Also, you got the previous support, another hint. And then now we push into this level of 162 flat and then end up flipping bearish, right? So it looks like this candle ended up passing the high right away and then flipping bearish over here. So are we going to hold that resistance here for then maybe next week where we create that top wick, or maybe tap into this area again, and then we continue right back down and retest the lows? Or we end up closing above this level and we possibly can continue up. So far on the daily levels, we have that resistance right there that we could be reaching. Clean move to the left over here, and this move as well that you can mirror up. But right now we're sitting right below it. 4 hour ended up kind of like faking that area out. You do have this support or resistance right here that ended up holding as a support, but then we faked it out. We're now below that level. We've been forming some lower highs. You could mark that off. That's like the third time we kind of tapped into that area over here, and now we got like that last tap. We had the previous support right there, now holding a resistance, so that becomes a key area. You could also drag that to the left as well a little bit. So we bounce off that hard. Now we have clean candles coming down over here. How far could we come? That's a good question. We do have a previous support right here that we may need to be aware about. So far we got these levels, but once you break below that level, you should be continuing right back down over here. And this might be the next place you want to secure, unless you want to secure at 158, which is our historical psychological level. I would definitely be securing there anyway. Looking at the 1 hour now. 1 hour. Let's just clean up these zones a little bit. There you go. That was your support. Again, we ended up bouncing off this area. I'm just going to adjust this. Ended up bouncing off this area over here and then coming back down to this previous resistance and holding a support. Then we got this retest of this area, previous resistance and support, got that retest, last tap, and then we ended up tanking from there. So we got some clean moves coming down over here, but now we're starting to approach this support right here, right? But once we break that, again, clean move coming all the way down anywhere into this area. You got at least 140, 50 pips coming down in 158, but then you got this whole area right over here, previous resistance, 250. Got about 250 pips right there. 30-minute over here, starting to approach that area as well. I would actually probably move this. No, you can keep it right there. Yeah, it's good. You got that support. You got the resistance right there. Clean closes. 15-minute ended up is about to close in a second here. Strong bearish candle close right here. So if this is the 30-minute, even though we didn't close below this level over here, that's a strong close. I could see this being a short-term pullback. As long as you get the top wick on this candle and we pass below that candle, I could see a clean move coming down. But this is also the 15-minute. If that was the 30-minute, I would take that. 30-minute over here, let's see how it ends up closing. I would wait for New York and wait for the news to come out. but we could very well be continuing down as long as we get that close below this whole area. Let me actually just thicken this up. Yeah, so once you break through this level over here, you get these clean moves coming down at least right into here, this support. So that's definitely enough range for you to trade in, about 100 pips right there. But I love this close, short-term pullback, hard push from this area. We got the pullback that we were talking about right this morning, guys, and now we're continuing right back down. But again, we need to see a top wick formed on the next 30 and price passing the low for us to possibly take something like this. Anybody have anything to add?
I think it's important to wait for the candle close below that zone prior to any entry, or even a continuation down.
Especially on a Friday.
On a Friday, it's end of the month, it's end of the quarter, it's end of the week.
Easy to get faked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, could it happen? Could we drop? Absolutely. But like, you guys want to be a little bit more safe on Mondays and Fridays, end of the quarter, end of the month, like Trauma said. It's you guys got to be a little bit more conservative. All right. But this entry right here, I think if you guys were trading at the time, this is a trade I would have taken. But we were hopping on the breakdown of the live stream at the time. You got this candle closed. And what I was breaking down for them as well is the fact that, like, when you're kind of calling tops like this, even though we're bouncing off a key area, when you're calling tops like this, typically you want to wait for this retest before taking any kind of sells, right? But right here, you ended up getting a very strong candle close cleanly below that support right here, right? This candle created that healthy top wick, passed below that candle, and then you could have entered right here, stop loss up here, secured at 1-to-1, right? And that would have been your pre-New York trade. Clean move to the left as well. But again, I would be securing majority of this here during pre-New York because I would be expecting this pullback, and then you could possibly scale in from there. But again, this candle is a little bit too strong, right? It's all the way down here, so you would have probably missed that move for you to take a scale in. But I would be expecting this pullback right here before continuing down. All right, let's look at GJ over here. Let's see the 15-minute close for a second. Okay, it's a strong close right here. So again, 30-minute entry. If this was not Friday, right, or we had news coming out soon, healthy top wick, we pass below that candle, could possibly squeeze out a 1-to-1 here. It's a very strong candle. All right, gold. Now we have all of our historical levels marked off. I want you just to, I know it looks like a mess, but just pay attention to a few of these levels. You got 1700 right here, and you have 1680, as you guys know, is very significant levels on gold. And then I also marked off the bottom wick over here on the current monthly candle, right? So next month or next candle over here, and then, by next week for us, could we be forming that top wick over here and then continuing down? I think we got that pullback yesterday with fear in the market from, if you look at some of the lower time frames here, fear in the market from the recession that we're currently in. That price pulled back, waiting for PCE today, and then if we get really bad PCE, we could continue right back down for the Fed or the market anticipating the Fed to increase the rates even more, right, with bad PCE. All right, we could get that spike up, right, with initial fears of inflation if we get bad, and then we could continue down, is what I'm saying. But right now, we got a nice bounce off that area, 1615, which was a previous support over here that price really, skyrocketed from over here back in March of 2020. Different times at that point. Obviously, we had the COVID happening at that point, but right here, price is bouncing off that level perfectly. So we're getting that pullback. Can we continue right back down? Get some strong bearish candles closing in these areas, but it ended up reaching its limit before pulling back. So you're looking at 1680. Could we be pulling back into there to continue down? Let's look at the daily. So the daily is, again, a little bit clearer. You have that previous support over here, and I'm sure we're going to end up moving this down, and it looks like price closed right back into the range over here because you have these wicks. But right now, these candles are getting a little bit weaker. We have that strong bounce off 1614 or 1615, whatever you want to call it. ended up closing a strong bullish candle. This one closes like a doji candle, like very weak, right? So this one creates its bottom wick, passes the low, the high of the candle, pushes up to create this top wick, pushes into that area, and now it's starting to retrace from there, right? So could we be coming down from here later on? Looking at the 4 hour. So now you can see 4 hours clearly back into the range, right? You could just mark it off like this, somewhere around here. Ended up closing back into the area officially, I would say, with these candles right here. We retest the previous support, right? Get a strong bullish close. Now this candle is like engulfing it, right? So it's telling me that we're really in a consolidation again. We need to break below this area before taking sells back down to here. And then you're going to have the moves down to here and then obviously 16, 15. But the question is, are we going to hold the support right here? All right, looking at the 1 hour, let's see what we end up adjusting here. Yeah, this whole area is kind of a mess. You can always like extend it and you know, kind of make it big like that, but that just creates confusion. You have our most recent support right there that we could be coming into. That's what I want you guys to pay attention to. And we got a high that was just created as well during London. So we're coming down from that high, coming right back into that area. So you need, before taking sells, you need that close below here. I'd be, you know, aware of this area right there because you got a clean move below it coming down into this support. Right. But I think that if we get that close below this support right here, we should be continuing down. But this might be the safer route if you want to wait for the sells to continue down. 30-minute might be a little bit clearer. Yeah, 30-minute gets a little choppy here. Yeah, I would honestly.
I would keep the zone at the same place that you had it, just tighten it up a bit more.
As far as like you like it thinner?
Yeah.
It's like right there?
Yeah, right around there.
Okay. Cool. And then, you know, you can always mark this off right there. See if you have enough range in this area. Only got about 25 pips. That's not that much on gold. Right. So you may want to wait for safer sells below this area, depending on the setup. I'm never going to say don't trade in here, but if you get that perfect, you know, close below, get the pullback and then continue down, you know, you may be able to grab it up here and then price pushes through this area with some hard volume from the news. Anything to add, Sean?
No, that's about it. It's a straight sell. So we have yet to wait for some retracements coming back into previous consolidation areas. You know, expect some volatility, especially when we're about to have New York open in about 7 minutes.
Yes. Absolutely. Anybody have any charts they want us to go over? Nice quick breakdown. Do you want to do US 30?
Yeah, I was actually gonna send you the chart here real quick as well. Or actually, I can go over it if I can share the screen.
Yes, all you.
All right, perfect. Give me 1 second here. Oh, can you enable screen sharing, please?
Yes.
Someone commented start trading.
Start sending charts, buddy. What should we
there's
trade?
that, but let the setup come and then start trading.
Yeah, pre-New York before PCE.
Yep.
Patience.
All right. Let me go over all the levels first.
Sure.
All right, let's start off with the quarterly. So it's the last day of the quarter. And then next week, we start to see new candles forming. So I'm going to mark off the current quarterly low, the bottom wick rejection right here. So that's that, let's just call it 28,800 flat. There you go. So previous resistance here as well that we're already tapping into before we had that massive sell-off in 2020, and then a continuation right back up after all that liquidity that was provided into the markets. So that's going to be the first level. Drop down to the monthly. I'm going to mark off right here into this break and retest support, and then a continuation back up. We come back and reject right into that area in June, hold on to this area essentially for support prior to grabbing some more liquidity from all this all-time high consolidation, and then a continuation down from there. And that's that 30,000 mark that we finally broke below. Come down to the weekly. So it's been a straight sell after this massive consolidation that we've had all the way up top here. So we held on to this nice support. Price comes back, grabs liquidity, and then a continuation back down. We push back up into these areas here once again. The candles start to get weaker, and then another straight sell. You got a nice break and retest, which is the volume that we're still continuing with, but we have yet to wait for some more pullbacks after we broke this 30,000 strong level, as you can see. So pullbacks and then a continuation back down from there is really what's gonna, help us continue this volume going into even next quarter to end off the year. So I'm definitely waiting for some pullbacks here on the weekly time frame or even on the daily time frame, and then a continuation back down, eventually to come back and revisit into this 27,000 to 26,000 mark. So those would be the two levels I'm going to mark off, and then drop down to the daily time frame. When we come here, this is really where your consolidation is. So right here, we got where you have that consolidation resistance, and then you see the volume starting to die down here. We get a bottom wick rejection right into that 28,800, push right back up, and then after that, we held onto a strong resistance here once again. Price pushing back down. The current daily candle, as you can tell, it's a lot of indecision going into PCE. That's what the markets have been waiting for essentially the entire week. And then if we can get that continued volume, if we can continue to get the data, the supporting data from PCE, then I do expect US 30 to continue pushing down. And again, like we said, the reason why that the markets are consolidating so much this week is because the Fed is watching out for what's going to happen with PCE data to really make the decision of how aggressive they are going to be with these interest rate hikes going into next year, where they're targeting that 4.5%. So now you have that support here on the daily time frame with this consolidation. Drop down to the 4-hour. So within this consolidation, you're still getting these lower highs and lower lows that are being formed. So we come back and revisit into these previous highs, hold on to a resistance. You start to see exhaustion in these candles here before a massive sell-off that starts off. And then we come back and tap into these previous support areas. Again, we have seen exhaustion here before. Pushes back up, starts holding on to this lower high. So now the question is, can we continue pushing down? So if you're already in a sell, like I am, you would be targeting this area first as some sort of partials, and then a continuation back down from there. But as we get closer to news coming out, so let's say in the next 15 minutes or so, you should be managing your trade. There's going to be a lot of volatility. Again, this is what markets have been waiting for the entire week. So expect a lot of volatility when PCE comes out. Usually, if it's close to what the forecast number was, or even the previous number, the markets have kind of priced that in. But if it comes out lower than previous, or if it comes out, higher than the forecast, that's when you would expect, a lot more volatility into the markets, because that's not something that we were expecting. So if there's a miss by the previous, or if there's a miss by the forecast, then you can expect the markets to show volatility. And then dropping down to the hourly. So continuation here from this lower high as price pushes down. The next candle gives you a nice top liquidity grab. And then we see that liquidity being followed right into the following hourly candle, which is the current one, where we barely made a top wick rejection, continues to push down. And then after this, we've kind of rejected this and we're just fluctuating into these areas. So what we want to see is in the next minute or so, when this candle closes, can the next candle make a top wick and then continue pushing down as PCE comes out, as the sentiments get ready for the news release? Or are we just going to see price kind of consolidating out here if it's between the range that was already being forecasted? And I'm going to tighten up the zone here as well and bring this down. So any clean sells for longer term would be below this 29,100, and then a continuation down into 28,800.
Yeah, I like how we kind of broke through this area. We gotta It's almost like a fake out.
Yeah.
Over here. Obviously this is a major resistance, so price gonna react to that, but yeah, like a fake out over here. So I agree. Like if you get that close below here, should be continuing down.
Absolutely.
Because then you're no longer consolidating.
Yep. So going on to the 30-minute time frame, resistance, push back down, we get another pullback, and then that's pretty much when the down starts happening about 2.5 hours ago. And so here's the new daily or new hourly candle. And so what we want to wait for is some sort of top wicks prior to continuation down. I always look for a top wick because that's the liquidity wick on a bearish candle. So if we can get a top wick and then a push back down, then that tells us that we're going to have some continued volume. Unlike the last candle, the 30-minute candle here, which did not have a top wick, but left a bottom wick rejection. So this entire range for the falling candle to fill. But we have yet to wait for the new direction on this hourly candle. So it's 30 minutes before PCE comes out. Expect that there's going to be, a little bit of top wick and bottom wick broken on some of these lower time frames, especially on the 15, where you already have this weak bullish close. With all this liquidity down here. So on a bullish candle, the bottom wick rejection is always going to be your liquidity. And then on a bearish candle, it's always the top wick. So we already have that support being formed here, setting up for this pullback that we're looking for on these hourly candles. And then if we see PCE coming out and eventually we get the data that inflation is increasing minus food and energy, then obviously that's going to be not the best thing for a US 30 here, and we will see a continuation back down because that leads into the sentiment that the Fed can come in a little bit more aggressive. They can continue with the 75 basis point hikes going into the end of the year, or maybe we might even see their target range increasing from this 4.5, 4.6, even going up to maybe closer to 5%, which is what's essentially necessary if you want to control inflation. You want to bring your interest rates as close as possible to the inflation numbers in order to control inflation.
Yeah, that's a great point. Hey, Sharma, stay on your screen real quick. I gotta use the bathroom, and then I'll be right back.
No worries. Let's check out gold real quick. All right. Does anyone have any questions so far?
Nope.
All right. So the sentiment for Bank of England is they're not increasing interest rates until November. So I think that's going to help this GJ continue dropping back down. So what I would have marked off is right into these supports. And then this previous consolidation resistance. I don't think I've touched GJ in a very long time. Yeah, so the reason why you want to be careful, the zones that Steph had marked off, was because if price just bounces off of this and continues back up, this is essentially a new support. The last time we've had that was into all this consolidation, push back up, and this was the last support prior to this rally up. So I think it's going to be very important to wait for this 159.500 to be broken prior to a continuation back down if we are looking for any further sells. Does anyone on YouTube have any questions? We also just posted our new episode answering some of the questions that you guys asked on on Instagram. All right, got the flip back down. So if this candle low right here, the previous 30-minute low is broken, then I think that would be the proper entry for GJ to continue back down.
Can you repeat that again? What did you say?
If this low here, 30-minute low, is broken, then I think that'd be the proper entry for this GJ sell to continue back down.
What would your next support level be?
The first partial that I would actually take is going to be continuation down right around here, 158, 500, or even 600, and then target into 157. And you might get that getting into the end of the day, or maybe even, you know, if you're someone who would carry your trade out going into next week, then you can do that. But once price taps into this 158, 600, then I would trail my stop loss definitely.
That 30-minute looks great.
What's that?
That 30-minute on GJ looks awesome.
Yeah.
Only thing is you got that support right there. I would actually mark it like somewhere right here.
Down here?
Yeah.
You could wait for the entire clear out. But this looks like a nice break and retest right here. So if this low's broken, I think we'd have clean sales coming back down here at least.
Yeah. Now, do you think with news would push it down even more, or it's really a gamble as well being in this before PC?
I think it'd be a gamble before,
Yeah.
because this is something that the markets are watching out for. This is something that the Fed is watching out for. It's quite similar to, you know, when we trade NFP, it's NFP week, and a lot of the times the markets will just consolidate the entire week, and you're like, okay, there's probably a good setup with NFP. But then as soon as news comes out, it's within the range and the markets don't end up doing anything.
Mhm.
If that's the case, if PCE comes out within this range that we're already expecting, then, you know, the markets might not do anything. It might just be some fake outs and then continuation right back into these zones here.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have plenty of time to trade too. Like Lewis, you took your trade this morning, which is awesome. But like you got some time as well. Like after New York opens, like we already had New York open, then we have PCE coming out. Then you have the stock exchange opening at 9:30 to react to the news, and then you got volume all the way till like 10 or 11 that you could be grabbing your second opportunity of the morning. So patience, right?
Yep. All right. Do you want to go ahead and share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Any questions on YouTube?
Nothing yet.
All right. So I'd like to go back to the higher time frames when marking these charts off. We're just getting this really hard rejection of that resistance right over there. Looking at the 1 hour, again, like safe sells really going to be below this level over here. It gets a little choppy over here. I know it looks complicated to kind of mark off. You could actually probably move that right there. That might be a little bit better for you. But once you break here, you got a couple cleaner moves that you could be mirroring because you got this whole area. Oh, no, not that. That, you got that over here. Yeah, it's looking good. It's a nice bearish move coming down. All right. Any questions, guys? Beautiful. 30-minute breaking the low.
We're probably going to see these energy prices continue to rise. About 30 minutes ago, OPEC oil output cut talks narrowed to 0.5, 1.0. Yeah, if you continue down onto the news tab.
OPEC. Well,
Right there.
output talks. Wow. I mean, they've been doing that all year.
Yeah, but I guess they were convinced to increase the output actually instead of cutting the output
Oh, wow.
for some
Who convinced
time.
them of that?
What's that?
Who convinced them of that?
Biden, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, they've been so. I feel like they'd be more receptive to other countries other than the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, it was a combination of, think about UK, think about Europe, think
Sure.
about United States, right? All these different countries. But they end up saying at one point, they're like, that's not really our problem. Like, we look at the global demand. We're not looking at individual countries. And so we put out whatever the output is according to whatever the global demand is. It's up to the individual countries to figure out how they're going to manage their supplies.
It baffles me that we, like, if the United States wanted, like, we would be by far the leaders in oil output than any other country in the world if we wanted to. But we literally cut all that off, and now we're trying to outsource it all. And now we're basically dependent on other countries to do it. Like, why? We could be making so much money right now. And I know there's obviously environmental stuff that we got to worry about. But it's also natural gas, which is the cleanest kind of energy you can have when it comes to fuel, or not fuel, but oil. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense. A lot doesn't make sense. I'm sure you guys know that, right, Jamie?
I'm sure they're not going to do something like that. I mean, they have like the Paris Agreement or the Paris Treaty, whatever it is, and other things like that. But they're essentially trying to move off of fossil fuels and whatnot. But at the end of the day, in order for your global economy to work, you need to have comparative advantage instead of trying to go for absolute advantage. That's when you would just end up closing off your borders and saying like, we can do what we want to do, which is what China did for the longest time until they realized.
Yes. Yep. Well, you said no questions on YouTube?
No.
Awesome. Yeah, so this I did it again, Sammy. There we go. Let's see what we got here. Oil. But yeah, US 30, the trade I got yesterday, I could break it down for you guys. Right here. Perfect setup. Nice break and retest of this area. Right over here. Hard push down yesterday, where we came down, created this low. We come up, retest, strong 30-minute candle close. I took it as soon as this 30-minute candle passed the low of that candle. Stop loss right here. And I took it down. I believe I secured, last time I secured was this wick fill. And then, we ended up coming back and stopped me at a break even, which was right here. So it came back up around like 330.
So who's the Zoom user that's literally sleeping on the screen right now with the camera on? You might want to turn your video off.
You really called him out, huh?
Yeah, literally called him out. I don't even have video on for anyone on YouTube, just so everyone can see the prices.
That bother you?
That was me this morning, bro.
Oh, like tired? Yeah, Lewis came on the screen, told us he took a trade on GJ. It sounded like he was still asleep. That was great. No, but yeah, with our group this morning, I was talking about like waiting for those trades that you're like 90% sure that they're gonna play out. These are those trades, right? These are those setups. If you guys are beginners on YouTube, or if you guys are just coming into the groups, these are the ones you want to look for. Like if your main setup is a break and retest, this is the perfect break and retest you could possibly be taking. And that was a lot of points over here.
And you've got the same setup right now as well, as price is pushing back down.
Yeah.
So if you drop down to like the 15-minute time frame, I was gonna break down my trade. I forgot to do that.
Okay.
But no, go ahead. I was gonna annotate on your screen.
Oh yeah. All right.
All right. So here with this massive sell-off, so price. Let me remove this here. All right. So price holds on to this resistance area, and then we push back down right here a nice retracement, continuation back down, and then you get a break and retest. And then this was where I ended up taking the entry, and then the stop loss was right above the current or the entry 15-minute high, since we had already made that resistance, and then come back and target this as the final P, but take some partials along the way as price continues to push down. And then same setup right here where you've got, you know, this little bit of a push up. We've already made that top wick that we were talking about when we were doing the breakdown. So let's see if we can continue pushing down, you know, going into the news. And I think that would be another potential scalp opportunity if someone just wants to take a quick scalp, right? Like right between this and come down here. It's not that big of a range, but US 30 gives you a much better movement than, you know, gold or anything else. I'm pretty sure you can attest to that too, Steph, now that you're getting into it.
I love
So,
it.
you know, that could be a potential setup as soon as this previous low here has been broken and then price, you know, fluctuates back up a little bit. That's your entry right here. Keep your stops above the previous 15. And right before news comes out, take some partials.
And so you're in this right now?
Yeah, I took an entry at 29,263.
Okay. Are you gonna close it before the news?
I'm gonna take some partials before the news. I'm gonna close out majority of the trade before the news.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm saying I love US 30 right now. I haven't taken a loss on it yet, so maybe when I take a loss, that might be a little different, but it'll always be well managed. It's
a double-edged sword, right? So if you can make great profits off of US 30, you can make great losses too. So this is why your risk management has to be on point. And it's going to change from like pair to pair, depending on the volatility. Like if you're trading major pairs, they tend to be a little bit slower. So then your risk management, you know, you could be a little bit more lenient, kind of just let it run and whatnot. But once you start moving into indices or even commodities like gold, oil, that's when you want to be a lot more careful with your risk management.
Absolutely. You gotta, and that comes into like micromanaging trades, and you know, you gotta have your set rules for how you're gonna manage trades as far as like candles passing the higher low. Mainly, you want to wait for candles to close before managing risk, but it gets to the point where like you could end up micromanage, especially on like a newer pair, and that's okay, but that's where you learn, right? Like if you micromanage a trade, you maybe cut some in drawdown, you're just not comfortable with that drawdown, whatever the case may be, you're just trying to get used to that pair, right? So and micromanaging can come at any time where like let's say you don't trade the day before or something like that. I had that the other day where we took forget what we took. I think it was gold. Guys, was it gold or GJ yesterday? Or was it? I think Lewis was in it and Sammy.
It was gold on the 1 hour.
Gold on the 1 hour. Yes, it was right over here, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was right over here. So we saw the support being held, strong bullish candle close with a wick to fill. Then we had this candle. The 15-minute ended up pushing up and then closing bearish. So when that 15-minute closed bearish, I ended up closing half of it. And then we came down past the low of it. I ended up closing the full thing, but we ended up continuing back up. But that was because I didn't trade the night before because I didn't have enough sleep. But that's a different story. But this is where
bro, imagine if we would have held a trade, bro.
I mean, the thing was, where do we have our stop loss? Right here. Yeah, that would have been nice.
Right?
Did you hold this?
No, hell no. I remember I closed it right before the news came out.
Hell no.
That was at 8. There was at 8. Remember the news came out at 8:30, and I was like, dude, I'm not gonna gamble with this.
Yeah.
And the news came out, and like they had like a liquidity grab. Literally went back to my entry, and then we just skyrocketed. But it's fine.
Yeah, it was beautiful. You're talking about this, or
yep.
Okay.
At 8:30, whatever 8:30 candle was that huge liquidity grab to the downside, and then
yeah, we came down, grabbed liquidity, and then continued right back up. But that was a strong support right here. Yeah, we were looking at, and that was a great candle. Yeah, we were forming these higher lows. We saw this bottom wick form past the high. I ended up grabbing GJ later on. I think it was. No. GJ, where did I grab GJ yesterday? Oh, that's right. Yeah. After the stream over here, we ended up getting that close above. I grabbed a quick piece of this, but I didn't like how the 4-hour didn't create its bottom wick, right? We kind of just like took off from here, but we got that clean close. We were breaking this down. We had the higher low formed over here during Asian, and then price just continued up from here. Wish I held the whole thing, but I was on the road at the time. But right over here, we get that quick pullback into that area. But this 4-hour candle right at 9 o'clock just took off without us. All right, so we got about 10 minutes left for the news to come out. GJ is retracing over here. We're reacting to this support, right? So you just really want to wait for the news to come out.
I think that micromanaging part that you were talking about, all of that is part of, before you hop into like any new pair, you should be paper trading it for, I would say like at least a month.
Yeah.
I think it takes at least a month to kind of figure out, what's your trading strategy going to look like for that specific pair? What's your risk management going to look like for you to understand from a fundamental perspective what really moves that pair? And even like the timing of it and everything. I think overall, just to understand a pair in general, it would take you about a month. And so before you hop into like any pair, you should already have figured out, how you're going to manage your trade if, X, Y, and Z setup shows up, right? Or if there's news that's coming out and that that pair is a lot more sensitive to news, then, how would you manage would you decrease your stop loss? Would you, same thing, close out 50 and then let trade hit your stop loss? Like what would your risk management essentially going to look like there?
Yeah, I do think it is important to understand too that like you're not going to be completely comfortable and set with your risk management on a new pair once you finish that backtesting window or the live backtesting window. Like I've been looking at US 30 for about a year, but barely, like I've been kind of on and off with it for the year, but the last few months I've really been looking at it. And in the last month I've been trading it. Maybe the end of last month I've been trading it a little bit as well. And there's still going to be that period. I want you guys to understand that like you're going to still have lessons, and whether that's micromanaging or the types of trades that you take, but don't get discouraged from that because that's a lesson. Right? It's something that you learn from as long as you're not over risking. And even if you do over risk and you lose that trade and you got to spend a week or two making your profits back, again, that's still a lesson to tell you, okay, it's not worth over trading. Because at any point you could catch a loss and then all of a sudden you're down 3, 4, 5%, or even 10% if you're really over risking.
Absolutely. And obviously the emotional trading and all of that tends to kick in for majority of the people when it's a live account. So yeah, you could back test and you could paper trade and everything like that, but it is always 100%. It's always going to be different when you actually start live trading. The whole point of paper trading, back testing, journaling, and having all that data and all that setup and everything for you is so that when the live markets, when you're getting ready to trade in the live markets, that at least you have something like a foundation to go off of, right? You're not going in blind. But obviously, for a lot of people, majority of the people, emotional trading kicks in as soon as they realize that it's a live account and it's real money on the line.
Absolutely.
So I just closed out 50% of my trade as we end up ranging around here before news comes out. And then I also decreased my stop loss right above the previous 15-minute wick high.
So we're kind of like following your trade here.
Yeah, sure. So just close out 50 here. And then waiting for price, there's going to be wick rejections and stuff, but that's why I closed out 50 here. So then I'm looking for another scale in, depending on where the price is going to move after PCE comes out.
Were you looking for this wick fill before securing?
I was, and then I saw like the previous 15-minute, the way that I closed, that was giving me some more confirmations that we could end up continuing back down. But as soon as the current 15-minute broke the low and then pushed back up, right here, and now we're just ranging here. That's where I closed out 50% of my trade because I'm also watching the 5-minute right before the news comes out. And the 5-minute is just consolidating.
Yep. We're still forming these lower highs, but at the same time, we're holding support here.
Yep.
So, like, the question is, do you have enough range, or not range, but time for price to just drop and fill this area over here before news?
Probably not in the next 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Or the current 5 minutes.
Exactly. That's exactly what we were going over this morning too. Just understanding, like, when you get like a strong close below or above a support or resistance, the next candle, if it creates that top wick and then passes the low, is it worth taking that sell or that buy? Because you got to see what time it is, right? Like, how much time does it have to actually fill that previous wick or continue down, or at least like push to get that 1-to-1?
Yeah. All right, there you go. That's that volatility right before the news.
There we go. So we'll keep US 30 over here to the left. I'll throw gold over on the right.
I just pulled up Financial Juice as well because sometimes you'll see like a lot more data there than Forex Factory.
And
Now we got 4 minutes before news comes out.
who we got in here? We got KB. Borga.
Look at the first news that just on your screen.
We urge Kiev to immediately halt military operations and return to the. Yeah, dude. I think he's panicking a little bit. Like, the fact that he is now starting to bring like normal citizens in, like that's a big telltale sign. The first one was the fact that they couldn't take Ukraine in a couple of days. It's like, what's up with that? And then now he's drafting people, and you see the lines of people leaving Russia. I don't know if you've seen these videos.
I haven't seen all those videos now.
Oh yeah, there's people just lined up, like so much traffic leaving Russia just so that they could get out because they don't want to be drafted. And then I saw these videos on Instagram of they're speaking in Russian, but it's basically like basic training for these average people, and what they're giving them is like nothing to fight.
Yep.
Like, I watched in the beginning of this war videos of like Russian soldiers kind of releasing what they're getting to eat and everything, and they're like MREs. Does anyone know what MREs are? Well, they're these like basically packaged meals for the military, right? And it's like microwave food or just really fake food. It's like astronaut food, and they were all expired, and that's what they're giving their soldiers. So, I mean, could all be just social media stuff, and might not all be the truth, but you know, it's what it looked like. KB's on US 32, huh?
Let's go.
Love it. US 30 gang. Let's see, how do I pull this up? I don't like this. How do I just get this stuff over here?
All right, it's the last couple of seconds.
PCE, yeah, we got 40 seconds left. You guys can see this down here?
Yep. I think from that news, we could probably see gold pushing up.
Yeah, let me see over here. Let me get myself ready. Not gonna be trading the news, guys. Remember, trade the reaction to the news. Anything other than that is gambling. So just wait, be patient. All right. Released.
Ooh, push right back down. Let's go.
Liquidity grab. What are you thinking, Sharma?
I'm gonna wait for this 1 minute candle to close here first on PCE.
All right.
And US 30.
Gold is still. Oh wow. Okay. Inflation rose again.
So that means they're gonna come in with another aggressive hike.
Yep. US 30 is gonna continue down over here. We ended up breaking support. 1 minute support over here. So can the 1 minute kind of pull back over here, hold a resistance? And would you be looking for a sell from there?
I want to see a deeper drop down. I want to see if you hop onto the daily real quick. I want to see this daily support here being broken and then a push back down. See how we barely tapped into it and then we pulled right back up. So not the wicks, but just the candle right here.
Okay.
So I want to see if we can continue breaking below that. And then if so, then I would target the previous daily low first and then see if, we have enough volume to carry it down into 28,800 going into next week. But next week is also a new quarter, so that's why you want to be very careful.
Yes. It's a perfect setup right over here on the daily. It's a strong daily close right here yesterday. But the question is, can we break below that support like you said?
Absolutely.
Gold's just playing around over here. Gold can go either way.
I think the more important thing for gold right now was that the Putin statement.
The Putin statement?
Yeah, because the entire year, all we've seen is just war stuff, right? That's it.
Could be it.
No negotiations, or they tried to do negotiations, but it didn't work. He wasn't interested. And so now for him to come out and say that.
Literally comes out right before PCE. All right, so we were talking about that close below the 1 minute over here. We pull back into the range, maybe get that second tap. Can we continue down? But you also guys have the stock exchange open, right? And a lot of times on gold, you end up seeing that pullback on either way before continuing down when the market opens. So can we close below here?
For US 30, if we can close below that daily low or that daily support, then I would go in with another 1.5 because right now the first trade was 1%, close out 50% of that, so I have 50% or 0.5% running.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I would go in with another 1% or 1.5%.
Do you like it as it's creating a top wick passing the low?
Yeah, if it can continue pushing the previous low though, because the last candle closed with no bottom wick or barely a bottom wick.
Mm-hmm. Not much range. You do have this wick to fill, but it's looking like it's struggling around here. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a strong retest of this whole area. It's like a last liquidity grab, and then you get this top wick formed, passing the low. Gold again, still playing around. I guess, yeah, you're right. Mixed data on gold with Putin.
Yep, it is end of the week candle, end of the month candle, everything.
This is actually awesome. That's coming from Putin too.
God damn, bro.
We'll see how what was that?
Someone on YouTube just spamming this shit.
What do you say?
It's just best adult dating site, whatever.
Oh, nice. I was getting a little horny in the morning. Guess the market turns them on.
I gotta put in the moderator thing in there.
Yeah. the West is waging a hybrid war on Russia. I mean, we're kind of in like a proxy war with them right now because we're doing everything but supplying man. We're supplying money, we're supplying weapons, we're supplying all that stuff. So it's basically the U.S. is involved in it.
Well, they are. So is the UK. And then of course Europe is supporting Ukraine too, cutting with this entire situation. So it's not something new.
What do you think actually happens with like we could see a shakeup in the EU now with this new prime minister in Italy.
Yeah.
I don't. I was just gonna say.
I mean, right now, right now I think it's more of gonna be like getting a handle on this entire Russia-Ukraine thing because obviously that's heavily impacting even the entire Europe.
Absolutely. Yeah, they got to worry about energy and all that stuff. All right. Let's see. Did we get any movement here on GJ? Oh, hold on 1 minute here. Yeah, GJ pulled back over here. So we're still holding that resistance, but that was a strong close, just no top wick. So this is a range. I would stay out of this. This becomes your no trade range. All right. And I would wait for that break below the support over here before continuing this thing down. And again, we could get that pullback even into here before NYSE open, and then we continue down. But we shall see. We're still technically in a bullish trend here.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like, if that zone is broken, then we can look for a sell back down. If price just bounces off of that area, then it's more of just price creating a higher low.
Yes. Yeah, I mean that was a strong move yesterday. Coming all the way up, creating that resistance right here, tapping into that area again. Every time you make a move like this, expect some consolidation before just trying to call tops and continuing down. Like, I'm sure there were a ton of people after you got that bearish close, engulfing close right there with the wick to fill. A lot of people probably tried taking sells from there, right? Yep. And then you ended up getting this. If you have expertise in this pair, you're going to know you're going to get that last tap before price possibly continues down. Let's go back to US 30 now. Looks like we're dropping.
We're just consolidating around this area still.
Yes. So, the prime time to really trade this pair, I would say, is after NYC, correct?
I would say, yeah, after like New York Stock Exchange open.
Yeah.
And then usually like after an hour of New York Stock Exchange open, or like 30 minutes to an hour. And good movements. But again, we are tapping into these higher time frame levels. Right now, where we're sitting at is the previous weekly resistance before that drop down that happened in 2020. Right, so if you hop up to the weekly real quick for US 30.
I like how the 5 minute closed below that level.
And then look to the left a little bit. So that's exactly where we're sitting right now is the previous resistance before that drop down that happened in 2020, where the Fed legit stepped in, injected money into the stock market, and then we saw a continuation right back up.
Yeah, this is the level that I was saying. I'm wondering if the market ends up breaking below the highs from COVID, right? These are the previous highs. We literally doubled the market after that, right? So now that we're coming back into it, are we going to continue to break below it, or would we kind of hold the support over here? I mean, the market is not doing too well, but I was going to say if that was our low for the market, that we retest and then we continue up with some kind of recovery, but we're nowhere near the possibility of that happening.
I think on the higher time frames, we are going to continue pushing down, and then going into like the end of the year, we could see a retracement below this 28 or like 29,000, 28,800 level, and then a continuation down from there going into next year. Yeah. I think we could end off this year below this 30,000 mark. And then as price continues pushing or we continue dropping down, I would expect like more around this 25,000, 24,000 mark is really when it's going to catch the attention of the Fed, and maybe we're going to slow down these rate hikes, or maybe even not do any rate hikes and put out the sentiment that this is the level that we're going to sit at for some time. I do think that as price continues pushing down, we come below 25,000 or below, I think that's when the Fed is going to start injecting money again.
Okay. Makes sense. I was just looking at this 5-minute, how we close below, get the week 5-minute closing below as well. So it's been about 10 minutes after the news, and this is what we say, like, wait for the news to come out, and then wait 5, 10, 15 minutes after, and maybe you could catch the trend continuing down and retest the low that it created or the high that it created.
Absolutely, because we haven't really broken the previous 5-minute highs yet.
Yeah. Yeah, if it respects those highs and I guess breaks the low over here, is that something you'd be looking for?
Yeah, I'll take that trade.
Kind of consolidating here on the 1 minute, holding that support. So once we start breaking that support, this thing should continue down.
Yeah. I would be keeping my eyes now, like on the 5-minute time frame, 15 and 30, going into New York Stock Exchange. And then after about an hour into New York Stock Exchange, I won't even look at the 5-minute time frame. It's going to be 15 or 30. But realistically, today, I'm probably not even going to look at the charts after an hour after New York Stock Exchange open.
Okay. You're done for the week.
I'm done for the week, yeah.
Okay. Now, I know you didn't trade at all really this week. Is there anything you feel like you missed out on? Like that you feel like you could have grabbed?
Not really, because I still have my runners going from last week.
True. Okay. That changes it.
From, yeah, I think last week is when interest rates came out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so CPI, interest rates, and then I think it was like GBP, PMI, and US 30 dropped then as well. So I still have some of my runners going from, from those trades. Okay. So there's really nothing that I feel like I've missed out on. If anything, I'm just happy that I didn't trade, because this entire week we've just been straight consolidating. Like this 4-hour price action, daily price action, that's not something I want to be a part of. Are you talking just US 30? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Even with other pairs, there's really no movement that I feel like I've missed out on. Okay. I mean, there was a good move yesterday on GJ. For GJ particularly, I would probably, the only thing that I would say, like, I wish I took a part into was after, I think it was like Sunday market open, where we had this massive bottom wick rejection. And then after that, we held on to a support. And then the next couple of days, we just continue right back up. So I would say like that's probably it, like maybe above 157, going into 161 area. Okay. That would be the only trade that I would probably be interested in. But honestly, even seeing that play out, that's not something I didn't want to take part in that either. You said 157 and 160? 161, yeah. So as soon as price broke above right here, this perfect break and retest on 157, and then coming up to 161. Yeah. Yeah, because you see the higher lows just being created here, and price respecting this resistance, right? We rejected here. Once you get that close above, then we come back into the range a little bit and then close back outside of it. I love that setup. And we just continue up from there. Only problem was I wish that this candle had a bottom wick on the 4-hour before passing the high of that candle. If that was the case, I probably would still be in this. But any questions from YouTube? Any questions from you guys? Da. Who's Da? All right, I have no idea what just happened there, but there's some issue with this live stream. Oh, really? Yeah. Is it still going, or now it's going, but it got disconnected. Okay. On its own. Yeah, you guys see now here on the 1-hour on GJ, it's a strong support right here, right, in a bullish trend. So we literally need, like, this is what I was talking about.
You really want to wait for that break and retest before calling these tops and taking this down. You got a clean move to the left, at least a very strong 30-minute candle on the top break rejection before continuing down, but you're still respecting that higher low support that we did over here yesterday.
Absolutely. So I gotta head out, stuff.
Sure.
But is there any questions? Are you guys good to go for the remainder of the session if you're trading? You guys know what you're looking for?
Russian President Vladimir Putin announces annexation of four Ukrainian territories after sham referendums. Wow. Putin declares residents of Ukraine's, there's a couple of districts over there, or regions, he declares them Russian citizens. How do you just declare that? Oh, okay. So this is he's trying to add these to the negotiation of like, okay, we can end this all if these four regions are ours. All right. All right, guys. So if there's no other questions, Sherman's got to go. We'll hop off, guys. I want you to have a great weekend. If you are not confident in your trading yet, if you're not confident in your edge, go back test, go study previous trades, look at previous performance, and see what you could be doing better. I feel like a broken record when we always talk about this on the podcast, which, by the way, is going to be released today. And if you guys are beginner traders on YouTube, everything that you need to know about being successful in the market is in that podcast, right? I'll be talking about it today on my story too. It's everything that you want to know is on that. So, psychologically wise, everything you need to know, everything you need to do to be successful is all in that one episode. So, highly recommend you guys check that out. But again, if you're not comfortable with your own trading yet, and you feel like you need more work, you're just nervous in the market, you're not willing to take any trades, use the weekend to just put the work in and study your previous performance. There's going to be a ton that you see that you could be doing better with. Even on winning trades, there's going to be things that you could be seeing like, oh, okay, I could have held that a little bit longer. Right? I didn't have to micromanage that, or I didn't have to close that early, or I should have closed earlier on this one, but I didn't. Right. So, little things like that is what you want to pay attention to. And if you're not going to be succeeding.
Absolutely. So there are 8 things that we essentially go over in the new episode of things that we do to help us prepare for the live market. So absolutely go and watch that. And, you might even have to watch it once or twice more than just the original time. So if you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out. Today we are going to have the simulation session. It's going to be on gold, and it will be at 3 p.m. PST. So I'll see you guys there. It'll be, right back here on the same YouTube channel. But as always, any questions, feel free to reach out to either of us. Stefano's Instagram is StefanosFX. Mine is at ShermaFX. Have a great rest of the weekend, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Steph.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.